Alrighty, good day, everyone. Please excuse my voice a little bit. On Wednesday, I actually ended up getting COVID. So unfortunately, my voice is still recovering from that. However, I wanted to go ahead and kind of give y'all a introduction to what we're gonna be using for this course, uh, in regards to how we're gonna do this. So in this course, because we don't have a lab or anything, just yet in Northeast Lakeview, we both my online for both the online class and also the in-person class with myself and Mr. Fleming. We're going to be using something called the Cyberrange. So I'm going to go into the home page real quick and direct you out to where you're going to be. So you should be getting an email in your Alamo email account. I'm going to stress that Alamo email uh, from either myself or from Mr. Fleming on the Cyberrange. The way it's going to work is there's going to go ahead and be a couple different things. So when you go to the homepage, go ahead and click on US Cyberrange. It'll automatically take you there. Go ahead and use your Gmail account, okay? So I have mine is set up, but you can use you're going to have an invitation code. So you can click here and you type in the invitation code. And then from there, it's going to ask you how do you want to create the account. I, for one, I would recommend using your Gmail account. That's going to be the easiest way to get this set up, okay? So I'm gonna log in real quick. Okay, so once you get everything set up and your account created, you should be now at this page right here. What this is gonna go ahead and actually be is this is gonna be your course login information. So what's gonna happen is if you're in my 13-16-005, which will be my in-person class, this is your online class, okay? And then Mr. Fleming will have one for his as well. What you're gonna do is you're gonna click on your courses and it gives you a brief description about what this is. And then on top of that, there's going to be four different types of three different operating systems, but four different actual environments we're going to be using, and they're all denoted by based off of what module we're going to use them for. Okay, so we have the first module. We're going to start with this one called Ubuntu. We'll move into Kali Linux in module 4. Modules 8 through 12, we're going to do CentOS. And then lastly will be your final project. Now, I'm not going to go into further details with the final project just yet because there is actually a separate video and talks about how to do it and what the expectation is. But I will say, go ahead and stress this. This course is not a GUI course, which means you will not be using the graphical user interface for this course. This course is strictly going to be restricted to being able to navigate and complete commands and achieve goals using the CLI or the command line interface. So if you're not familiar with that or you struggle with that, this is going to be it's going to be a little bit of a heavy lift, but a good learning curve. Because if you can become successful in being able to do commands in Linux, I guarantee you, you will have a leg up in the game when it comes to finding a job. One, you'll have a leg up in the game when also trying to go ahead and understand how to do this in the Windows environment. And that's number two. And number three, you're gonna go ahead and have a better understanding of what is actually happening. Think of it like in mathematics when they teach you a formula, but before they teach you this cheat code or this formula, they show you how to do the math by hand. And then from there, they're like, okay, well, instead of doing that by hand, we can go ahead and actually use this formula and it does it for us. So this is the way it's gonna go ahead and be. Also, I want to stress that not everything you can do in the GUI, you can't do everything in the GUI. You can do certain things, not everything. So once you're here, if you're going to be working on anything in module 1 through 3, which is where we're going to start, click on the Ubuntu mod, and you're going to have your name, or you're going to have this environment right here. You're going to go ahead and hit the power start button, okay? And it's going to take a little bit to load up. Now, I will go ahead and say that overall, the this environment, everything is a really, really cool environment. It is actually going to be containered, so no one else has access to your environment except for myself and Mr. Fleming, okay? And that's how we're going to be grading it. We're going to be actually turning on each of your environments individually and grading your projects for each module. Um, but once you go ahead and get this all set up and you actually have an account, you click on module, it's going to say start. Once you turn on your machine, you're going to hit the play button. And then that's gonna go ahead and actually bring you up to your console. Notice it's loading up real quick. Give me just a second. It's gonna allow. All right, here we go. This is what my system looks like, okay? So you do have access to internet in this system, and this is where we're gonna be starting, the command line, okay? The CLI. This is how what you're gonna be using throughout this course. Now you can go ahead and if you have trouble reading, you can do a zoom in and make it bigger. You can zoom out if you need to. You can go ahead and change the colors if you need to as well. You can change the color of how to do it. You can make it full screen, however you want to go ahead and do this. But this is going to be the command line we're going to be using. And we're going to be using the same kind of command line, similar in all the different options, all the different other operating systems. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and exit this real quick. Sorry, I'm going to Now, I want to go ahead and stress that once you are done, you need to go ahead and make sure you do not leave the VM running, okay? Every time you leave the VM running and you're working on it, ACCD is build, okay? So to be proactive, we want you to go ahead and once you're done for the day, do not worry. It's a virtual machine. It will save your state. So if you're worried that it's not gonna save your work, it will. However, so before you do that, you're gonna go ahead and hit the stop button. However, I say it will save the state if and only if there is not a very drastic fault in the operating system. If ever there is a fault, then you will be required to have to go ahead and reboot. Uh, or you'll have to have asked myself or Mr. Fleming to go ahead and redo your system. It will go ahead and actually delete your virtual machine and create a whole new one for you, which means you will have to go ahead and redo what you did before. However, that shouldn't happen very often because we're not going to be doing a lot editing certain things. And if we do, we're going to make copies of those files and we're going to edit the copies so that way we don't have to worry about that. So again, I'm done with my work for the day. I'm going to go ahead and click the stop button. Now, before you actually go ahead and load out, just make sure it stops. I'm just going to be preface that. Make sure it stops and you'll be good to go. Once it stops and you're good, then you're ready to go ahead and log off of the system for the day. All right? We're going to be using this system for the entire course. If you have any questions or concerns, please send me an email or Mr. Fleming an email, and you'll be glad to go ahead and see that there's going to be, you will be very welcoming. And like I said, you're going to get exposure to three different types, three different operating systems from three different variants. With that being said, I hope you'll have the really good time with this. I hope you enjoy it, and then I'll enjoy the rest of the semester. Thank you.